Hi, welcome back to Mystery Movies. Today I will make sense of a film called The Bandit Hound. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. Bandit was trained to be a criminal by his masters, Manny and Willie. In the initial scene, he strolls into a bank with a pack and a note joined to it. The gatekeeper doesn't care to check the little canine and lets it through. The clerk peruses the note that says the canine is appended to a hazardous which will go off on the off chance that they don't fill his knapsack with $100 greenbacks. She rapidly does as told, after which criminal takes off outside. His masters are hanging tight for him in a vehicle. They look at his pack and toss a GPS beacon utilized as a snare. It just so happens, the unstable was phony, utilized as a method for startling the clerk. While Manny acclaims outlaw for his work, Willie isn't attached to the canine. They drive back to a distribution center and begin counting the cash. Outside, a police officer shows up searching for the looters. He holds them at gunpoint, yet Bandit saves his masters by going after the police officer. Manny and Willie figure out how to escape while the canine is caught. Elsewhere, a 15-year-old kid named Owen is riding his bike. He is out of nowhere come by a gathering of bullies. They push him around and call him names despite the fact that Owen attempts to get to know them. A young lady from a neighboring house feels terrible for himself and lets her canine out to pursue the harassers away. Owen thanks the young lady and gets back to his mom, Joanne. Owen's dad passed on a year prior due to a sickness. From that point forward, the family has been dealing with monetary issues. They have moved to the town with at least some expectations of new open doors and to be nearer to their main family member, Aunt Deb. Since they have gotten comfortable, Owen needs to get a pet canine. Joanne is doubtful, however she can't express no to her child. Meanwhile, Manny and Willie are tense since they can never again bring in cash. Manny needs to get Crook back, however Willie demands he train another canine. He even takes a canine, however Manny won't prepare anybody other than Bandit. He gets on his PC and searches all the canine havens in the town. A couple of moments, he sees that criminal is being held in the Heart Salvage Canine Reception Community. Owen and his mom get to the shelter before them. Aunt Deb thinks bringing a canine home is an impractical notion, yet Joanne demands satisfying her child's desires. The proprietor of the reception community, Trevor, is a cordial man who is by all accounts inspired by Joanne. He acquaints Owen with Bandit and the two quickly get alone. Some time later, the family brings criminal home. After they leave, Manny shows up at the shelter and requests to meet Bandit. At the point when he finds that he has been embraced, he goes through the reception structures and figures out Owen's location. He intends to get his canine back without a doubt. At Owen's home, Joanne and Deb examine the family's monetary issues. Deb maintains that Joanne should get cash from her, yet Joanne believes should do everything all alone. Crook hears cash and is quickly cautioned. However, he won't emerge from under the bed. Owen attempts to pay off him with toys and treats. However, the canine actually doesn't move. He imagines that criminal could do without him, yet his mom requests that he have some tolerance. After the family nods off, Scoundrel at last emerges from under the bed and runs outside. Simultaneously, Manny and Willie show up. They're searching for him. Manny slips inside the house through the pet entryway while Desperado takes off to a close-by eatery. The visitors think he is adorable and allowed him to mess about. Yet, when they are occupied, Bandit takes cash from a lady's tote and gets back. On his way, he likewise takes from a vagrant. Back at the house, the looters drive away in the wake of searching for Bandit wherever, however not tracking down him. The next day, Owen takes the canine to a vet to ensure he has no sickness. The specialist actually takes a look at him and affirms that criminal is more grounded than any time in recent memory. Everything works out in a good way until after they leave and the specialist sees his wallet is absent. That evening, Owen is playing with his toys in the lawn when the young lady who saved him from the bullies approaches him. She presents herself as Lily and requests to be his companion. The two talk for some time before she leaves. Afterward, Owen and criminal are getting back from the supermarket when the harassers stop them once more. They ridicule Owen and grab his sack of food. Crook sees a $20 greenback inside their bag and takes it without anybody taking note. At the point when the domineering jerks take steps to toss stones at them, Owen stands firm for him and hits them with tomatoes. Back at home, Joanne is crying since she had a miscommunication at her work and got terminated on her most memorable day. Aunt Deb and her significant other attempt to support her when Owen shows up at the house. In spite of the fact that Joanne imagines like everything is going perfectly before him, Owen comprehends that his mom is having monetary challenges. Out of nowhere, Crook gives him the $20 note he had taken from the harassers. Before he can sort out where the cash came from, somebody rings their doorbell. It is one of the domineering jerks and his mom griping about somebody taking his lunch cash. They additionally blame Owen for raising a ruckus around town. The lady takes steps to call creature control and leaves. Owen understands that his canine was the one took the cash. The next day, they go to the recreation area to prepare. Owen solidly accepts that what scoundrel did was off base and believes him should figure out how to pick canine treats rather than cash. While he is grinding away, Lily comes to converse with him, alongside her canine Lucy. The two choose to go out on the town to see the Christmas designs in and out of town. Subsequent to going through the whole day together and having loads of tomfoolery, they embrace and get back. The next day, Joanne goes to the dog adoption center to meet Trevor. She at first needs to discuss Crook's relationship with her child, however the course of the discussion changes when Trevor specifies he needs to date her. Joanne is uncertain in light of the fact that she has never been with anybody other than her better half, yet she consents to go out on the town in any case. Else, Owen is preparing Scoundrel in a recreation area. Scoundrel sees a van and follows it to the bank. Two police officers are stacking the van with cash from the state's depository. The canine conceals under the vehicle and takes a sack of cash when nobody is looking. While he is taking off, one of the cops named Albert sees him, however doesn't respect it. Before long, they understand a pack is missing and begin looking for it. In the meantime, Owen tracks down Outlaw under a bramble with heaps of cash. Albeit the youngster realizes that talking the cash would be a wrongdoing, he does so at any rate to help his mom. Coming back home, he meets Aunt Deb, who gives him an envelope with a check for $1,000. She requests that he hand it to Joanne as an early Christmas present from her side. Back in the bank, Analyst Decker is appointed to find out where the cash went. Albert guarantees that it could have been taken by a canine. While everybody giggles, the criminal investigator accepts him since he likewise dealt with the last burglary that Crook was a piece of. On arriving at home, Owen tears the check and several $1,000 in the envelope, all things considered. Joanne imagines that her sister is attempting to help her like generally and keeps the cash. The next day, Owen chooses to return the cash without being gotten. Yet, subsequent to seeing the report about the taken cash on television, he gets frightened and alters his perspective. At the point when his mom asks him what's up, he concocts a rationalization saying that he needs to go out on the town with Lily. After the cooperation, he goes to Lily's home and asks her out. Elsewhere, the burglars likewise see the news and sort out that Crook has taken the cash. They choose to get it from Owen before he is gotten. Like that, the fault will fall on the youngster and they will have the cash. Owen and Lily go to a sweet store where he gets her a candy. Different children encompass him, requesting that he get one for them also. To dazzle Lily, he consents to get them all that they need. The young ladies who used to disregard him previously, begin to play with him, causing Lily a deep sense of disturbance. He carries the whole gathering to a toy shop and gets them all that they pick. Lily inquires as to whether he can manage the cost of it, to which he egotistically answers that it is his cash. Lily is disrupted by his new character, however says nothing. Outside the toy, several stops to play with Crook, however he takes the lady's neckband and takes off. Simultaneously, Albert remembers him and starts pursuing the canine. Ultimately, the couple and every one of the children follow behind. Desperado figures out how to trick them and moves away in the wake of concealing inside a photograph corner. Back home, Joanne and Trevor get back from a date and are going to kiss, however are interfered with by Outlaw. Before long, reality emerges and the family is carried to the police headquarters alongside the canine. A police officer questions them and inquires as to whether they have the cash. While the others deny it, Owen understands his error and hands the sack of cash to the official. He chooses to allow the family to go since they had no part in the burglary. In any case, he needs to hand criminal to animals control, where he will before long be put down. Owen and Desperado share a close-to-home farewell prior to isolating. He gets back miserable that his closest companion is going to be killed. Trevor attempts to encourage him, asserting that he can pick any canine from the safe house. In any case, Owen realizes that nobody can supplant Bandit. Around evening time, Joanne comes to his space to mind him and thinks that he is sleeping. Be that as it may, Owen had just been imagining. He has chosen to go to Creature Control Base Camp to deliver his canine. He gathers up his sacks with garments and different necessities, wanting to move to an alternate state with Outlaw. As Owen is going to leave, Lily stops him outside the house. Owen believes that she is going to tell everybody, except conversely, she wishes him karma and kisses him on the cheek. Following that, he cycles to the Central Command and quickly lets Desperado out of his enclosure. In any case, what he can be sure of is that Manny and Willie are hanging tight for him outside, prepared to seize the canine. At the point when Owen attempts to shout, they kidnapped him and carry him to a distribution center. They would have liked to get the cash that Crook had taken from the bank and are frustrated in the wake of figuring out that Owen brought it back. So all things being equal, Manny passes on Willie to take care of Owen and goes to ransack a save money with Desperado. The following morning, Joanne goes into Owen's space to awaken him, just to think that he is absent. Meanwhile, Manny acts like visually impaired and enters a keep money with criminal. He utilizes a watchman's firearm to undermine the clerk and requests cash. Crook and the clerk go to the vault to top off the sack. At the point when the canine gets back with the cash, he and Manny drive away. Back in the stockroom, Owen gets his hands on a weapon and undermines Willie to go to the police. All at once, Manny and the canine show up at the spot. On seeing Willie attempting to go after Owen, criminal leaps on him. They battle and the canine is shot simultaneously. The cops come to the stockroom with flawless timing and get the canine to a vet. In the meantime, Manny and Willie drive away while being sought after by a squad car. They are glad that they essentially have the cash, yet before long understand the criminal tricked them rather than the cash. The sack is loaded up with tacky notes. In the accompanying scene, Owen is in the medical clinic asking that the canine is alive. The specialist comes outside the working room and gives him the uplifting news. A couple of days after the fact, the town city hall leader respects Scoundrel and Owen for their boldness and assisting the police with catching the burglars. They are given $10,000 prize cash each. The whole town commends them for their grit. In the last scene, we see that criminal and Lily's canine have made a few little dogs together. Owen and Lily offer the pups to individuals in a yard deal. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notification, and leave a like, to help the channel grow fast. Thank you for watching.